Eastern Cape Premier Oscar Mabuyane has urged the families of the 3 children that died of suspected food poisoning to allow a thorough investigation to take its course. The 3 died last weekend after they consumed an instant porridge that was purchased at a popular supermarket, and 2 of the children are from the same family, while the 3rd is from a neighbouring household. SABC News reporter Sidima Mfeku has the story.
The Bambela and the Ndudane family here in Danzan are still trying to get to terms with the death of their children and also laying them to rest today. Quite a very somber moment and a very emotional moment inside here. We're currently in Danzan now, where the funeral service of these 3 children who are between the ages of 1 and 4 years old is underway in Danzan in the Eastern Cape. Some of the people who are here in this funeral is, of course, the Eastern Cape Premier, Oscar Mabuyane. Now we get to speak to him. Premier, thank you very much for your time. Quite a very sad moment for this family, but also for the Eastern Cape. What sense do we make of the death of these people?
Sad indeed, Sidima. Allow me to further extend the heartfelt condolences to the families and all relatives to this. It's a very, very sad. It's one of those situations that you find it difficult to fathom exactly what has happened and why it would happen, even to toddlers and young kids like these ones. And I just hope that the family of Bambela and all families will be able to stand up to this and accept what they cannot change. It speaks volumes about our social ills and the sort of a moral decay in the society. I've heard stories, suspicions of food and all that. I want to leave everything to police as they continue with the investigation. But I really don't believe so. You know, I don't feel like we would have had a lot of deaths if it had something to do with the product itself, as it was alleged, and I don't think SPA must even themselves take a blame on something like this. Yes, to be precautionary is okay as a business, but I think it's a very bad one. But I think we also want to really thank all the civil society stakeholders, business in particular, SPA included, for the support they've done to mitigate the pain in these families, and Bishop McGinana in particular for the funeral service they've offered these families. Yes, these families might be mourning, might be in pain of losing these young kids, but at least the support people of Danzan, people of Buffalo City have shown, it should really be a huge relief to them, and for them to know that they are not alone, they are not on their own. We are all here to support them, and we're here as government to communicate that message and make sure that we will be working together to make sure that things like this don't often happen.
Yeah, and also insofar as the police investigation, as you said that you're giving this to the police, you don't want to make any more comments regarding it because it's in the police realm now. But how far are the police in maybe coming up with a report, that autopsy report, to say what is the probable death or what is the actual death of these children?
I've learned through a very hard way in the past, when you put police to give the premature reports on things like this. I don't want to put any pressure, but police must take their time. Yes, now we talk about deaths of these young people, but it's deaths that we cannot reverse. So police must do justice to ensure that we are able to go to the bottom of the problem and deal with it in a manner that will help us to protect it in advance. Of course, prevention is better than cure. But from where I am, I don't want even to begin to put a lot of pressure on them. I've seen it during Yobeni time where you would demand this and that because of the pressure out there. Yeah. So they must not work under pressure. They must do due diligence, must do what is right to be able to give us a proper answers.
Yeah. And also maybe one other thing that relates to this is there's, even last year, there have been quite a number of cases where children are being admitted in hospitals, and even though we don't know what is the cause of this death particularly, but also it still lingers around the issue of items that are bought at stores. How good are we doing as a province in inspecting stores, including supermarkets, in terms of the procedure that they follow in making sure that the food is safe for the people?
Yeah. We have actually communicated clearly to all our municipalities to strengthen bylaws, to make sure that the often checks and monitoring of all those who are selling food, your spaza shops, your retail and all that, food is always checked. But also people must be able to check whether the food is not expired when you buy. There might be such kind of weaknesses in the system, not deliberate sometimes, but some will be deliberate. But we also wanted to be extra cautious and take responsibility on that. I know Department of Economic Affairs, from a consumer protection point of view, they do have those consumer protection people who are moving around to check. But as you would understand, we might not be able to go every corner. But that's why we have said municipalities tighten up these, do these kind of routine checks, random visits into these areas, just to make sure that things like these are not becoming regular in our space and in our lives.